All right, everybody. If you are a lender and you're looking to grow your business, you are on the right call with Scott and Ye here at Listing to Lead. It's going to be a great call today.
Good morning, everyone. Well, maybe good afternoon, depending on where you guys coming from.
Yeah, we're almost in the afternoon here in California, but not quite. So if you are a lender, let us know where you're coming in from. And it's going to be a bit of an interesting call today because I want to talk about creating relationships with agents as a lender. And why don't you explain what you've been doing? Let's explain, kind of give the background real quickly, and then we can discuss about the listing today that you got from an agent and so on.
Okay, so my background. So I was a top producing mortgage broker back maybe 15 years ago. Before I started listing leads, I was working in the San Francisco Bay Area. And the last 15 years, I was working with Scott, building up this listing leads platform. And about 2 months ago, I've decided I need to reactivate my lender license. Okay, so to me, as a brand new lender, because I'm working this new area, all my realtors were in the Bay Area, so I need to start developing new real estate agent relationship. I need to find my own buyer leads, and that's kind of when I'm at, right? So being able to use the system, I have developed sort of a step-by-step process where I'm generating enough buyer leads using agents' listings, whether it's open house or just listed, mostly just listed. And I've built a pipeline that just in the last about 45 days and start having conversations with people. So with through the process, I've been able to do cold calling with step by step, which I'm gonna explain to you how I'm doing it. And I've already have 4 buyers that are actively going to be either they're going to do something within next 1 to 3 months. So from that perspective, I think it's a really good process
Yeah.
that you guys can follow.
Well,
And
and the really cool thing, aside from in like 45 days, four buyers, that are out looking, but it's also the relationships with agents that you're starting to be able to build up, and literally from the ground up. So no network here. Uh, was an agent in San Francisco. We now live about an hour and a half away from San Francisco, so there's nothing here for her as far as any kind of community or anything like that. And so starting as a brand new agent, she's going to walk through how she is approaching agents. Phenomenal. I mean, and I really think I can see in the next 2 to 3 months where you're going to have even stronger relationships with some of these agents. I think you're going to get more confident and kind of
right,
move up the food chain with agents in the area, where it can be hard to start with a large team or a large agent because you don't know them, they don't know you. So how do you do that? And so he's going to talk about how she calls up agents, asks if she can market their listing. She's marketing their listings. She's sending leads back to agents, and they're not even in listings to leads. So this is not one of the things where she's giving somebody an account and then they don't use it. She's actually just taking the listing, marketing it, and following up with the
qualify the
leads.
leads.
Yeah,
Yep.
qualify the leads, send the
And
leads to the agent if
right.
appropriate, or work the lead as a lender, as a mortgage lead. And enough of the buyers do not have a lender. So she's able to generate leads for like $3 to $4 a piece. And then through that, getting enough people to where she's got a decent little pipeline here right now. And we're just getting started. I mean, to be honest, I think we could at some point bump up to, 200 a week, right? Right now, think about it. For 500 a month, if someone were to say to you, for 500 a month, I will give you, let's say, well, month and a half. So you spent probably $700. So for, yeah, $500, I'll give you 3 people that are in transaction. You would do that all day long. I mean, the
Right.
ROI on that is ridiculous.
And also total, I have AI text follow up linked to the leads, right? So
Yeah.
I have 15 qualified leads just from that. So
Yeah.
those people is gonna work
Yeah.
through the system. We have,
Yeah.
and then the other ones that did not tell you, oh yeah, you can go ahead and call them, but they also say, hey, they didn't say no. So they are in the email follow-up system. You're gonna drip campaign throughout the next 12 months. So at some point,
Yeah.
these people
Yeah.
are gonna do something.
Well,
So you're
and
building
that's one of, yeah.
yeah, so you're building pipelines through different time frames. It's not just the people, oh, you absolutely need to pre-approve them today. It's the people is going to be in action. There are people who are thinking that's going to do something in the next 3 to 6 months. And there are people you just have to constantly drip them until they move to the next class.
Well, and part of the strategy I think for you is going to be is, and I'm going to bring it up right now, is also social media, right? Whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, YouTube. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well, because it's one thing to generate leads and you're doing the follow up and the AI text, the phone, the email. That's all great, but I think there's a strong play in your TikTok, your Instagram, and making sure that people get to know you from that as well. Because
Right.
that way, because if you think about it, a lot of these leads are coming off of Facebook. And so as long as, and you need to get better at some of these videos that you're doing, we need to make sure that they get onto your Facebook page better. Because obviously, if we've got Facebook leads, well, we want them to get to our Facebook page and then see all of our great content on there. So I think that's going to be important in addition to what we're doing on Instagram and TikTok, and a few other things there.
Yeah,
So
right.
with that,
Yeah.
here's I think the first key is, as a lender, adding yourself as an agent to your own account. So you can see here, Ye's only got one other agent in here, but what she did is she added herself as an agent to her account. And it's all of her lender branding. And then she borrows listings from agents with permission. So she's calling agents up that have good listings. So you talk about how you kind of qualify or what have you for who you're going to call,
Right.
because not
Okay.
every listing is the same.
Yes, the most important thing is really find that listing that's gonna attract most buyers in the market that's very hot, right? So essentially, it's like the same as a real estate agent. How they market listings to get buyers, sellers is the meat of the market. So I just go to Zillow, use the filter, look for the price range that's pretty much medium area, medium price range and up 20, down 20%. That's sort of my rule of thumb. Um, for example, this one. Then you get a listing and also days on the market. I try to do 30 days on the market, but the way how Zillow is presented, you get something that's only been on the market for like 7 days. It's okay. As long as the listing is in the meat of the market and has great photos and has furniture, please make sure it's not empty.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this is a listing right here. So I mentioned add yourself as an agent to your account, and to do that, go to agents, add agent. All right. And just add the information, right? First name, last name. That'll be your name, your last name as the lender, right? Your mortgage company name. So just add yourself as an agent. And then, and we're gonna do this right now. I'm going to literally add this listing and I'm going to do an ad for it. So you call the agent up. So you tell everybody about that conversation. Cause I think sometimes a lender can get a little bit like, how does this conversation work? So just tell everybody how that worked.
So I found the listing agent's information. I call him. I say, hey, Don, whoever his name is,
Yeah,
this is
done.
Ye Gong with Answer Home Lending in Granite Bay. I am calling regarding your listing at blah blah blah. Right? Hey, I wonder if it's okay. I market your listing to social media in my database,
Perfect.
and his immediate response is, "Thank you. It's awesome. Go ahead." That was that. I said, "Thank you so much." I said, "In this
Yeah.
market, we need a lot more buyers. Thank you so much. I'll make sure, courtesy you,
Yeah.
because you want to mention their name." And that was it.
Yeah.
You're
Perfect.
gonna
Perfect.
get. I've called us to agents numerous times, and I think 80% of the time they're like, "Go for
Yeah.
it."
Yeah. And I think that's really the key, because you're going to be able to pass back to the agent some of the buyer leads. And again, some of these buyer leads will have a home to sell. So by marketing the agent's listing, even if it's been on the market for 60 days, it's got a price reduction. Just because it's been on the market for a while does not mean that you can't generate some phenomenal leads from it. And just to I want to show something real quickly. Ye, she was kind of looking around and she found this listing, which this picture actually looks very nice. And we were going to actually market this listing. The problem is the photos are pretty not
Very
good.
bad.
And so we just here, let me turn off that lead form real quick. So yeah, so this listing, again, this gets to the idea of like, not every listing is equal. You want to be, it's your money, it's your time, it's an investment. So don't, when you find a listing to market, or looking at listings, this one, I said the outside listing images are fine. Kind of, obviously the agent took the photos. This could have been such a better photographed, but the inside photos were kind of just not great. So anyways, we're keeping it in there. We'll see what we do with it. But what we're going to do is we're going to add this listing, and I'm going to run an ad for it right now, and and show you how to also send it to the database. And so the idea here is, instead of adding the agent to your account and going through all of that, save that for later. In the beginning, I would just ask them, like what you just said. Hey, you got a great listing. Would you mind if I marketed it on to my social media and to my database? That's all you need to do. What else are you going to do? You could go do a short NDE. What you could do later, I mean, you could go ask if I can do a video at your next open house, or are you having a showing that I could come by, when you got a showing scheduled, and I can do a short form video. He's been doing little video clips at open houses the last few, like 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, actually, this one is having open house this weekend, so I'm definitely going to go there, introduce myself, and I want to thank him for letting me do the, marketing for
Yeah.
him.
Oh, that's
And
awesome. All right.
let's see how he does his open house. Oops.
Yeah, because and so as a lender, exactly right. Take it step by step, stage by stage. So, you know, ask if you can market the listing. I think that's the perfect place, because you're going to get buyer leads. You're going to get leads that will need a mortgage. So it's perfect, and it's cheap, it's easy, and it's the first relationship kind of like touch point with the agent. You're not asking them to do anything. They're not logging in and setting. No. Just do what I'm going to show you here. So you've identified the listings that you think are going to be great to market. They're going to generate some great buyer leads. So the meat of the market, they look good. You're going to bring it into your listings to leads account. So I went to the listing. I'm going to take the zip code 95747. You remind me of that when I forget it in 10 seconds. And I'm going to get the MLS ID number. And in listings to leads, I'm just going to grab it. So I'm going to go to the listing dashboard.
Yeah.
Now it takes about a minute for it to grab. So while it's grabbing, we'll go look at her ad results so far, and then we'll come back to this in a minute. But go add listing, grab. So right there, grab listing. Select agent, select yourself. Zip code, what was it? 95747?
Yeah.
95747. MLS ID number. This is the agent's listing. No, it's not. So I will uncheck that. All right. It's not Ye Gong's listing. So I unchecked, click grab, and
Yeah, you essentially, as if you are agent borrowing other people's listing.
Yep, exactly. So we'll come back to that in a minute. That is going to cycle through. You can see here, here's a couple of other listings that she's marketed. Let's go to ads. Just because I want to this is part of our Facebook ad strategy. If you guys have attended our Facebook 8x ROI, for the Facebook ads, you want to be spending about 100 to 150 bucks a week. I would say 125 to 150 bucks a week minimum, because you've got to get enough leads coming in to get into the flow of follow-up. All right. If you've got fewer, what you want to get to is about 5 to 8 leads a day. When you have 5 to 8 leads a day coming in, average price should be between $3 to $5 max. All right, so 5 is max. 3 is kind of where the 3s and 4s where we want to be at. So you may have to be at 160 a week. You could be at 125 a week, but just you'll get a feel for it, and I'll walk you through that. So here, you can see these 2 ads. Have any of you ever done a home buying webinar? Ye is actually doing one tonight. Who's on this call? So if you're on this call, let me know. Go ahead and drop a comment into the call. Tony, I see you're on the call. So yeah, tonight, Ye and one of her real estate partners are doing a home buying webinar. And I've got to say, we have taken ad ideas from other people that have shared ideas with us that they've used in the past. We have not had a great response to the ad. The first lead was generated with $12, and then we haven't generated a lead since. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. It's not going to come up. I don't know. There's something wrong with the Facebook thing, but you can see the ad here. So, but I'm like, hey, it's the first time they're doing a home buying webinar together. So I told them, listen, the first one you do, you're probably going to have mistakes. It's probably not going to be great. Maybe you can get some clips for it. If it's good, you can put it on Facebook, you can put it on YouTube. They're streaming it live with StreamYard. So it'll be live on YouTube, Facebook, and also via the registration link. So anybody on Facebook or YouTube will be able to actually watch it live without even logging in. So I think it's going to be a phenomenal way for them to get in front of a lot of people. So again, the first time might not be a lot of people on it, but hey, like everything else, you got to get consistent with it, and then you will attract your audience over time, especially if you're doing the TikToks and the Instagrams, and then building your audiences that you can cross-pollinate.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tony Valdez says that is cool. Yep, I think so. But what I want to really focus on here are the ads that she's been running for listings. So she essentially started 1st of June, so about 45 days ago, like she said. She spent, let's see, what is like 150, 70, 115, so that's like 200, 350, 450, so $550 in 45 days, $500, 4 buyers out doing things, 15 buyers in qualified by the AI text, and I think 190 total leads in your database inside of listings to leads, and a fair number of them are opening up the emails that are going out. She's had a number of conversations with people. And let's go back to listing. So one more thing here I want to show.
I honestly don't think, I think my overall cost per lead is like really low. It's like
Yeah, no, it totally is. In fact, I
between
wonder why
2
it
to
doesn't say.
3. It's not even 4. It's like under $3.
Yeah, I mean, look right here. So this ad, $2.44,
Yeah,
budget of
that's more like
$100,
average.
41 leads, $2.94, $100 budget, 34 leads, $288 per lead, 40 leads at $115, $277 a lead, 25 leads. And then this one here, $618 a lead. Yeah, I should have turned that one off before I did. I let that one go all the way through. So I'm going to walk you through what to do. If you have a Facebook ad that's not producing leads lower than $5, you can turn it off and just rerun it. And then this one here, 370. So yeah, like 190 leads total. So phenomenal, I think great results so far. And again, it's about building that pipeline, because as you build a pipeline, some are going to be moving quicker, some are going to be moving later, some are going to be moving in the middle. And we're just going to keep filling all of those buckets all the way through while we're developing great relationships with agents. So, oh yeah, he's having an open house right there. It came through. So here's that listing we just brought in. I'm going to click market listing, and we're going to run a Facebook ad, and then we're going to send an email to all of her leads in listings to leads. So check this out. Facebook and Instagram ad. It should say listing courtesy of there. And yes, it does. So we got his information automatically there. Perfect. You will notice as a lender, you got the opportunity to send the leads to the listing agent, which in this case is still Ye, but we're going to keep it with the lender account. It autofills the location, radius, lifetime budget of 35. I'm going to change that to 100. Start and end date of a week. Now the photos are the issue. So check this
Yeah,
out.
check this out.
If
I was just gonna say, do people realize what the problem is with the photos right now? Can you
Yeah,
look at it and
what
tell
do you guys
me?
think is the problem with the photos? This ad, it may do fine, but the photos are obviously not that great.
Not the ones
So
I wanna show on the front of my Facebook ad, right? For sure.
right.
You have 2 pictures of the pool. I don't
Yep.
need 2 pictures of the pool. And the
Nope.
front house is kinda cut off.
Well, and it's also a lot of driveway and a lot of garage doors. So let's take
Yeah.
a look what we can do here. So I'm going to change template. So there's a blue button there called change template. And the first thing I'm going to do is scroll down and select this template. And so, yeah, the house is still. So let's click edit. So top left, click edit. And now I've got a little editor at the top left of every image.
Mhm.
And you'll see here, right? So I'm going to go update image. And let's see if we can find a better image of the front first. Maybe that's all they got. I'll tell you what I do sometimes. I will actually download the image. I know I'm nuts. And for a lot of you, you may not want to do this. So that's all the photos. I almost like, let's see that one. Eh,
Ah,
is that better?
that's a little better than the previous one. At least, you got some
Yeah.
trees and
Yeah. All right.
right?
Let's hold that there. All right. Let's look at image number 2. Yeah, they got some great photos.
I'm gonna tell the guy, "Hey, can we get a when you need a better front of the house." I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. And here's the thing. A lot of MLSs require a front of the house photo. But what
Mhm.
agents don't realize is try not to show so much driveway and street and cement and garage door. Like, try to get an image of the front that, is a little bit more attractive. So we did the living room and, oh, you know what? Actually, the pool should stay there. So that's the pool is
The
good.
pool is nice, yeah, but not 2 pools. 2
Correct.
pool
And then
photos.
let's
Yeah.
see, this was the kitchens. That's good. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to change the color here. So you see where it says open house in Roseville? That's a little bit hard to read. I'm going to uncheck use as default. And then now I can make darker. I'm going to change it to red. And why do I change it to red?
So it's just a lot easier to read from the background, which is great.
Yeah. And so, yes. And also, so it pops
Hands
out
out.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
Hit apply, save it. Yeah, Tony, exactly right. We want this to pop on Facebook. And there's another one of our clients, Caitlin. She'll do a Facebook post, offering agents, and she's got a big, but she's already got a big uh, community of agents down in her area. So if you have a big community of agents in your local area that you're already connected to, you can do a social media post offering agents. Hey, if you got a listing and you want more views on your listing, well, let me know, and I'd love to run an ad for you. Where I pay for the ad, I will qualify the leads, and for all the leads that are ready to buy or that are appropriate to send to you, I will send them to you for absolutely free. And for any of them that need to get qualified, I will take care of that for you as well. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tony
You
says, was that primary pick was that primary pick like that, or did you do something with that shot? No, that was just their shot. That was they must have had a drone take and I bet they got a drone video somewhere maybe.
Mhm.
Um, I would like to see that just a little bit closer, but it's interesting. So I think it's an interesting view. And then you can see again, you see there's a beautiful pool. There's nice hardwood floors, great windows. It looks nice and clean. So I think that should be good to go. Perfect. And that's it. So I just confirm location. Don't increase the radius. Increase your budget from 35 to whatever you want to do. Really, to get the Facebook algorithm, to get the Facebook engine going, 65 $60, $65 minimum. if you've got, maybe you're doing 2 or 3 listings this week, because you got agents, you want to, I like to do 2 listings a week where I would do $60 and $60. So for right now, this is the only listing that she's marketing so far. And like I said, I wouldn't mind going to 200 a week. I think the pretty soon you'll be able to handle that. Not right now, maybe during summer, not so much, but in the fall when everything's a little bit quieter, we're not traveling as much. It gets dark, so not everyone is running around. It might be easier to bump up the spend and bump up the lead flow. So this will be a Facebook lead ad. Name, email, phone number, and purchase timeframe will happen. These are all going to be automatically engaged with the AI text automatically. So as soon as she generates a lead off of this ad, the AI text will hit. And then Yi, why don't you talk about how you follow up with leads?
Okay, as soon as so every time you have a lead, you will get an email and also a text as well, actually. So you can look at on your phone. If there's an AI text conversation, go directly into your listings list. It just goes right in there. You can look at the conversations.
Yep.
And I follow up with leads. I call them every 2 days, and I call them for 1 week straight. All right. And I used to like leave a voicemail, and I realized that doesn't work, because as soon as you leave a voicemail, I don't think anybody calls you. But if you can somehow just call them, sometimes they'll respond. Like they'll call you back. Hey, who is this? And you can try to have a conversation with them then, right? But if you leave a voicemail, they realize, hey, I don't want to talk to this person. I don't think anybody wants to call you back. So I learned that pretty quick. So I don't leave voicemail anymore. You just keep calling them until you can get them on the phone. Once you get them on the phone, the conversation opens up. They can tell you, no, I'm not interested. Okay, you don't have to bother them anymore, because that saves your time. And then just let the email follow up take over. But if you can have good conversations, which a lot of times I actually do, believe it or not, once you get them on the phone, the conversations are really good. This is how I get my qualified leads to move into the next stage, because I have essentially have 2 pre-approvals. I have 2 people we're working on, some other things, so can get them to the buying stage.
What so
Most important thing,
did you
yeah,
talk
go ahead.
about when you actually call people, what time of day?
I call them between 7 and 8 p.m. every night.
Which I think is awesome.
Um, yeah, because this is when after they've had dinner and it's not too late, they're kind of relaxed. They're interested in not piss off you.
Yeah.
Right. So I found this to be the best time, 7 to 8 p.m. Their
Yeah.
guards are down, they're relaxed, they had a good day, or whatever that might be. So they're more interested to talk to you.
Yeah. So Tony asked, what is your opening statement? So when you call somebody, and Tony, real quickly, and I'll mention this, and you will talk a little bit about it. But one of the things is, don't start off with, "Are you pre-approved?" Right. So I know Gordon talked about just trying to add value and connect and have a conversation. But yeah, answer that question.
Yep.
Give us a few ideas there.
Yeah. So I call them, I say, hey, this is a Ye. I just hey, you were looking at this listing. I don't even say who I am. Like, I just say, hey, this is Ye. You're looking at this listing I posted on Facebook. I just want to find a little bit more detail. Like, what do you think about this property? That's kind of how I normally start. Oh, they were like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just browsing. I say, oh, okay. If they were just browsing, I'll say, okay, why you like, is this the area you're interested? Like, what are you renting? Like, I kind of get into, a little bit more asking their questions. And then they would tell, oh yeah, I'm looking. Then they will open up. You just kind of want to understand what the situation is. Let them talk a little bit more. Versus I never, never ever mention about anything about pre-approval.
Yeah. Yeah. So really important thing here is, and it gets back to budget, because when you spend enough money, you're going to get enough leads coming in. Not every lead is going to have a conversation with you. Not every lead is going to return your phone call. Obviously, we know that. So, you got to call through. You're going to have some bad phone numbers. You're going to have some people hanging up on you. You're going to have some people tell you they didn't really mean to click 4 to 5 times to get through your ad. All of those were like somehow a mistake. We've heard that before. So, don't get off your game when you get people giving you a bad phone number or giving you a bad time. This is a numbers game. And so we want to make sure that we stay consistent with running ads, right? One of the things I get on with Ye about is that, hey, there was we went on vacation, we came back off of vacation, and for maybe 4 to 5 days, we didn't have an ad running. And I was like, Ye, you don't have an ad running, you don't have leads coming in, right? We want to make sure we got a good lead flow coming in
Yeah.
and that we're obviously following up with our old leads. So it all works together. If you're only generating one lead a day, well,
That's not
your
good. Yeah.
follow-up, yeah, it gets a little tight,
Yeah.
right?
And also from my personal experience, when you're really gonna go on vacation, this thing is gonna be hard to do. Okay. I mean, my personal, I didn't have good cold calls when I was in Florida. And it just
Yeah.
kind of what I will call it, just you lose momentum. Okay, if you want to do this, making sure you kind of stay put for the next 6 to 8 weeks and just do
Well,
this, grind it out. Like
well, and that's
you're
where
gonna
the
see
AI
results.
text at least comes in because even when you're generating leads and let's say you're on vacation, at least the AI text is engaging with them. But yeah, you hate to go for too long without getting on the phone.
And the other thing is you're dealing with a time change. Okay,
All
so
right.
I
So
mean,
that's
Florida
7 day would
3 hours
have been.
ahead. Yeah,
Yeah, that would have been 10 to 11. So, yeah, that's called life. That's called
I
life.
did. I did make calls one day at 10 p.m. Florida time because it was 7 p.m. in California, but
Oh,
it was
wow.
not the easiest thing to do. Yeah.
I think I remember that actually. Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. Hey, so this is a great little learning thing here. Let's say you run an ad and you go, man, that ad could have actually been better. Because sometimes, at least for me, I kind of run through it and then it is like it's submitted, but I go, oh, I could have done something differently. Maybe the images, maybe the text, whatever. I want to add that there's a pool because people, that's a big thing in our area. And it might be in your area as well, or it could be another feature of the property that you really want to highlight. And you did the ad and you forgot to do that. So check this out. I can come in here and go to edit and it'll pop me back into the editor here in a second. There we go. So I'm back in the editor and I'm going to change. I'm going to put open house with pool in Roseville. And I'm going to put another emoji. I'm going to put like the pool or the sun emoji. In fact, what's the weather going to be on Sunday or whenever the open house is, like 100 degrees maybe? I'm going to
Maybe
put the sun. Although it's been a little bit cool this year. Oh my God. It's been like, I think we're about
92,
10 degrees cooler every day this year so far.
92 high.
All right. So that's warm. It's warm. Normally this time of year, it's 105. Like normally this time of year, it's between 95 and 105. We've not hit 105 this year so far. I think our highest is 100 degrees, but my point is, notice how I just kind of just made that pop a little bit more. And I can come back and, I can do the same thing with budget. Maybe I say, hey, you know what? Later on, like the day or two before, this is important. So pay attention. A day or two before the ad is to end, and if it's generating leads at like, $2, $3, $4 a lead, and you want to keep that running because that's a great cost per lead, you can just increase the budget and extend out the ending date. And that ad, because it's generating leads, it's got a great audience that maybe Facebook got it in front of. Don't Instead of letting the ad end and having to start all over again, kind of a little bit of a crapshoot sometimes, just come in here and like the day or two before the ad ends, increase the budget to like from 100 to say 200. So it'll add 100 more, or I could say, change it to 150 and it will add 50 more. So I'm going to leave that as is. So here, all we did is we changed the text. And of course, something went wrong. We'll take a look at that a little bit later. Let's see here. Sometimes if I just, oh, there we go. All right. Ad updated successfully. So here's the beautiful thing. this will probably be live shortly. Uh, Instead of ye spending, $45 trying to take this agent to lunch, trying to have an uncomfortable or conversation, like, trying to talk them into working with her and not showing any kind of value, forget all of that. And again, I'm spending 100. You could spend $50 for a week and you'll be fine. So Yi is going to spend $100. She's probably going to generate, let's just say $4 leads. That'll be 25 or 30 leads. I think about 30 leads. There will probably be one or two of them as they are coming through that she'll refer back to the agent. Right, very easily there could be one or two of those leads now, and I'm talking about in the quick, the like the very, very short term. Obviously over the long term more of them will, but then she will say for $100, if that's 30 leads over 7 days, so that's about 3 leads a day, 3 or 4 leads a day. I would say we want to get another listing still,
Yeah,
because
I'm working on
again,
it.
yeah, like I said, we want to be getting. I want to get between 5 to 8 leads a day. That's kind of the magic number for
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
because again, if I'm getting 1 or 2 leads a day, my follow up is no good. All right, I don't have enough new leads coming in. But if I have too many leads coming in, well, then I can't do my follow up there either. And so, Tony, kind of your point earlier in Yi, let's talk a little bit about like how some people will say, "Hey, call your leads 3 times a day, send them a text 3 times a day, email them 3 times a day until you get a hold of them." Just be careful. I mean, there's no way any
There's
sane
no
person.
correct way. I'm not aggressive type, so I don't know about other you, right? So I'm not like aggressive salesperson. So I just don't think I can do it. Call them every day. Right? It's just not my style. So everyone's different though. So I'm not gonna say which way is better, but you just gotta try whichever that fits your style. That's it.
Yeah, and again, that
Yeah,
gets
and
back
whichever
to.
works. I do want to say something. I know, please drop in the chat box. Like as a lender, you obviously have your own concerns. You want to use the system a different way. Please just, write in the chat box what questions you have, because we're here to answer all your questions. We're here to like grow your business, right? We're here to share our experiences to make your business better. So one thing I do want to mention is the custom landing pages. For example, VA loans or FHA loans. I'm just gonna throw this out there. We did run a VA custom landing page, and I found that the cost per leads for any custom landing pages, cost per lead is gonna go significantly higher. Just be prepared. I think I got one lead in like $15 a lead. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay.
Yeah, it's like $20, I think, for that lead.
$20. Yeah. $20 for that lead. You know what? I did talk to her. Okay. And unfortunately, it didn't materialize. But I did have a good conversation with her. So, but it was $20 per lead. When you actually run these just listed, when you market the listings, you're going to get so much more in terms of return on your investment because your cost per lead just drops so much, faster, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It'd be interesting if we actually try maybe Google. I might be interested. In fact, maybe we'll do that because Google may be better for those kinds
For
of
these
things,
type
because
of
people
leads.
have to go
Okay.
and type in FHA loan, VHA loan, right? You know what I mean? Or VA
Yeah.
loan. So maybe that's something that we try a little bit later. We can report back on.
Okay.
Um, Tony, when you say, "Oh, I like every other," yeah. So you're referring to Yee's comment about calling the leads every other day for about a week or so, and then again, the AI text, right? The AI text is going to go on for, I believe, 6 months,
I
maybe
cannot say
longer.
enough for AI text. Please, for those of you, I don't care which system you use, our AI text is amazing. I cannot say enough about it. Like, and I think we have updated how the conversations are going. It seems so natural. It's almost like you're talking to, I think 80% of the people have no idea that was AI. I
Probably
swear.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do because we're in the business, and so we're very attuned to this kind of stuff. But Yeah, for a lot of the people, you can just tell by the way they're interacting
They're
with it.
interacting. Yeah, and the AI, I chose his name is Alex. It's like it's pretty cool. All right.
Yeah.
Let me
Tony
see.
says the AI text is still chasing me. It's been 3 months. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, if you are on this call, if you are a lender, so this is only for the lenders, and you're on this call right now, and we're going to be adding this to the system. But
Oh,
if any of you want, I will have my team create this for you as a, uh, thank you or whatever for being on the call with us today. So if you want this, let me know. DM me on Facebook. You can let me know right here, right now. That's fine. But DM me on Facebook. And this is only for people that are live on this call. So if you're watching this on a recording, this is a home buyer's checklist. And it's just, again, we're going to add it to the system. It probably won't be for about a month or so before it's available for everybody. But I think it's a nice little handout to be able to give to buyer leads, maybe as a way to get them, some of your buyer leads that are not engaging with you, to be able to have a branded 4-page
Oh, that's
dreams and
awesome.
goals
Yeah.
home buying checklist. The
I
idea,
think
yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was
I
going to
was so
mention, I want to give Craig Johnson the credit because Craig Johnson was the one that had the dreams and goals title idea, which
Yeah,
I
you
which
know
I
what's
really like.
crazy? Okay, so I just went to check out my leads and look at their email, like what emails they're opening. And I looked at maybe 10 leads and it's crazy. Six of them opened this
Oh,
email.
really? Oh,
Yeah, I was
awesome.
shocked. And I was like, wow, that's awesome because you're talking directly to them. Like,
Yeah.
what are your dreams and goals, right? So it's just more relatable.
Oh, so Tony mentions I belong to the Loan Atlas Coaching, and they teach the whole series on dream. Okay, so I didn't. Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
I learned about it from Craig, and then we took it, and I hope is it trademarked? I hope it's not trademarked. I don't
Hey,
think dreams
everybody
and
has
goals
dreams
can
and
be
goals. I don't
trademarked.
think you can trademark that.
Yeah. And so this is the Your Dreams and Goals home buying checklist. So yeah, Tony, ping me on Facebook DM, and then I will have my team get into your account and take a look at it. So yeah. Yeah, I when Craig mentioned it to me, I was like, I like that. That's a really nice phrasing. Yep. Rhonda Buckner. Are you a lender? Rhonda, good to see you from Ocala. Ocala. Where's Ocala? Is that near Orlando? Because
Yeah, it's on the
I'm
way
actually,
to Miami. Yeah.
oh, got it. Got it. Okay, perfect. All right. So, what else should we talked about the ads. So we talked about adding yourself as an agent to your lender account, calling up agents that have good listings that now this listing that Ye borrowed or is marketing, it's only been on the market for 7 months.
7 days, 7
Or
days.
I'm sorry, 7 days. Thank you. So initially, she was going after homes where they've been in the market for a little bit longer with a price reduction, because obviously those agents are going to be uh, very open to getting extra coverage for their listings. So that might be something you look at. So let me ask you real quickly: how did you now calling up the agent? Yeah, after only 7 days, that's awesome. All right, yeah. Because sometimes I'm thinking if an agent has a brand new listing, it might be a little bit hard to get them to let you market it for them. But I think in this market, everybody knows.
I need
Um,
more buyers. Yeah.
yeah, it's not going to be as easy to sell this as it would have been maybe a year and a half ago. And
You
so,
mm.
as a
I
lender,
totally yeah,
you
go
got
ahead.
a lot of opportunity to add value to these agents.
Yeah. And I wanna say something about the social media, okay? I think it's very, very important. As a lender, we don't think about social media. But the more you do social media, you become because you're gonna be everywhere. People see your name, see your branding, right? It's like you become the local realtor. Same goes with the lenders. If people see your branding, your presence on Facebook, Instagram, they're gonna really, oh, she's the local lender, the go-to lender, right? It
Yeah.
goes same with the lenders. So however you want to do it, whether it's property videos, whether it's financing or mortgage tip of the day, anything. It's just so much to
Wait,
talk
wait.
about.
Well, the other thing that we've been doing is going around open houses on the weekends, and we'll walk into the open house, Ye will introduce herself as a lender to the agent and ask if we can do a video tour. Um, and that's been phenomenal as well.
Right. Yeah. Well, the more I do it, the more they're, oh, I remember you. Like, it's so funny. We had our Cybertruck park. Oh, you're the lender with the Cybertruck. Remember
Yeah.
the conversation?
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So check this out on this is TikTok. 42 views, 42, 46, 51, 55, 78, 80. And these are all just little, look at this, all just little clips at the property. 91, four. Now, then it's interesting. Then we bumped up to 400, almost 400, 300. This is a beautiful property. 239. Then it went to 1200, 990, right, at this pool home. This was like a weird one. This is just an image with 1,000 views. But when it was posted on TikTok, she had this option of, I can't remember what it said, but it was like post a photo of something, and she did, and it was kind of so it was like a suggestion from TikTok to post a photo of a certain style or something. 1,000 views, 2,500 views. First time homebuyer seminar, 200. So, this is more.
It's just an image. It's a post. It's not,
Yeah,
there's
just an
no,
image. And then it
yeah.
said to add 3 images. So I was like, just make it more kind of like topical. And then this is another home tour. And so if you're a lender or even if you're an agent, man, just go to the open houses or the broker tours. Ask if you can take do a little video tour. What we're doing so far, and you can tell we just like literally started. But the reason I wanted to show that to you is because of the quick bump up. So from the double digits to the 3 digits to the 4 digits, all within about a month. And a lot of that just comes from consistency, right? Staying consistent with it, trying to do 4 to 5 a week, if not more. And again, as a lender, it's it's learning how to develop relationships with agents from a value orientated perspective. Correct?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And the more you do this, okay, think about that, right? Um, I called this listing agent and he was super nice on the phone. And these the people that you want to develop a relationship with going forward. Because those people, one, they seem nice and they're open about marketing. They seem very savvy about, like, as soon as I said about marketing, they're like, oh yeah, I'm in. Thank you. Right? These are the people you want to have a working relationship down the road, you hope.
Right. And the reason why we're bringing this up today and walking through this today is because a lot of lenders, they think giving the agent an account with listings to leads is a way to add value. And it totally can be. But I think if you run an ad like this first, let's send it to your database. If you do the ad, you're able to refer a few buyers to them over time. That is way more value. And then maybe you give them an account with listings to leads. All right, Tony, do you see the difference between that? Right. A lot of lenders, they go, oh, I'm going to give you an account. You should thank me. Well, depends. I mean, is the agent going to get in there and start using it? Well, if so, then awesome. That's great. But
Most
what
of
would
them.
be better is if you just do what I just showed you, right? What you just walked you through, that is so much more value because that way the agent can just do whatever it is that they're doing. And you're sitting here promoting their listing. Now, one of the things you might want to do is actually send the agent maybe about a week from now, hey, we got 5,000 extra views on your property with 400 click-throughs, and I generated 17 buyer leads for it, because now that agent can go back and show the seller or share that with the seller.
That's
And you know what?
phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the agent, and I would even tell the agent, you don't have to tell your seller that it was me. Just put it under under your numbers. And you can, you could just screenshot this, right? I can just take a screenshot of this. Let's say, for example, let's take this one right here. So if I just kind of clip it using whatever you got on your computer, and I send this to, yeah, there we go. Sorry. Like I send that to the agent later, and I say, hey, by the way, I got an extra 3,211 people saw your listing last week, a total of 6,224 times. And my name's not on here as a lender. If I wanted to, I could do that. But what is my goal? My goal is to create value and to establish a relationship. I just pop that into an email. I would send that to the agent, like I said, with what I just said.
Mhm.
Man, they're going to be like, they're probably going to email back like, "Holy crap! Thank you
Thank you so
thank you
much.
so
Like,
much."
what are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
what's the secret sauce?
yeah,
Yeah, we should actually draft that email. Then we can have lenders just copy and
yeah. I
just
think that'd be a
yeah,
great idea
yeah.
because again, adding value and really helping the agent look really good in front of the seller of all of the extra team members I've got promoting your property, right? And now, and in
Mhm.
fact, it might be smart for the agent to say, "Yeah, I have a lender." They could, hey, you know what? If the agent wants to act like they were the ones that promoted that initiated it, phenomenal. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I don't
As
care.
the
Right.
lender is in the background on this one with the seller.
Yeah, because
What we
I'm
want to do is,
getting the buyers, so I'm cool, right? Yeah, let him get all the glory. I'm fine.
yep, yep, exactly
Exactly.
right, exactly right. So,
Yeah.
uh, I want to send that out to all the agents. I'm sorry, all the agents, all the buyer leads in your account. So I'm going to go back to the listing and we're going to hit the e-flyer for database.
Mm.
Now, I would say, eventually, depending, this particular agent may be appropriate, maybe not. Maybe it's another agent in the future. In the past, Ye actually did an open house and promoted this listing. So this was one where this was another listing that Ye promoted, generated some good buyer leads, referred some buyer lead to the agent, and she actually did an open house with this agent. And they had a few people come through that were homeowners looking to buy. So they had a home to sell. The agent had great conversations. They used listings to leads marketing and mastery. And Ye brought some water. She brought some chips and food, some nuts, some sign-in sheets with the clipboards, and really helped assist the agent in having a better open house. And the agent from that was able to engage more of the people coming through it. So that might be a call that we do a dedicated call on how to do an open house. But let's get this e-flyer. So here's that listing again. And I'm going to go e-flyer for database right here. All right. We'll let you know we're having an open house in Roseville. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to click edit email. Excuse me. So we have an open house. This home has a, well, I need to do 3. It's a little bit excessive. I'm going to add in my emoji again. I want to get that sun. I want to get the island. I want people to be all, because it's a great clean property. I think for the right person, they're going to love it. It's got a great pool. All right. So then I'm going to go send now. All right. That'll be that email. And now she can send to all leads. Let's send to all leads. Let's send to everybody and send. Boom. All right. Just as easy as that. Now she could also, let's say she's got another program. You can also click copy code. There's a few options here. There's call it copy code for follow-up, copy with signature, copy without. If I do copy with follow-up boss, I go to follow-up boss. I click the insert HTML or insert source, and boom, I got my email. Look, check this out. Beautiful slideshow right there. Got the pool. You know what I like about this agent? This agent is actually pretty smart. So many of you put 5 or 6 images of the front of the house, and this happened to me last week. And you put the pool because it's in the backyard at the end of the whole thing. They don't see the darn pool until photo 46, which is like absolute fail, the worst fail in real estate marketing. So the first 5 or 6 photos should tell a story of the property. You should have the front of the house, I would say the next photo might be the most attractive feature of the home. So in this case, he put a pool, smart, and then maybe do the kitchen, the living room, and something else. So that the first 4 to 5 photos tell a nice story and gets that viewer engaged with the property.
Right.
And you can even do that in Listings to Lead. In fact, I'll show you. But again, here we go. And now I can send this out to all the leads in Follow Up Boss if you need to. Now her leads from Listings to Leads go into Follow Up Boss, but we've already sent them out of Listings to Leads. And again, you could have, instead of using L to L, you could have just gone right to Follow Up Boss. So I just want to show you. So Tony, whatever program you're using, you can send the invite to your database, and then that can go in later. If you go to, and I won't be able to do this because I'll be showing personal data, but I can go to follow-ups, click email blast, and then I can see how many people it got sent to, how many people opened it, how many people clicked through. And here's the beautiful thing. When these people start clicking through, they're going to go to the single property website, which was created automatically. And let me see. All right, perfect. Notice how this came through. Follow me on Instagram. So for those of you that have been on this call the entire time, I just added this listing, and this is here automatically. And if I click it,
Oh, that's cool.
check this out. If I click it, it opens up her Instagram. And so now people can just start watching, clips right here. And there's no audio. So I don't think you can hear from that, but it's a phenomenal way. So what time we got? 11:57. I will show that maybe in next week's call, where that could have even been a video. So maybe you have a video about how you help people sell. Tony, do you have any videos like how you work with buyers, how you maybe help VA home loans? Because you can add videos or content like what you just saw. And if I go to, let me show you real quickly here, but we'll discuss this more next week, because for lenders, you can even embed landing pages. So if you got like a VA landing page, a FHA landing page, a USDA. In fact, does that listing qualify for USDA or anything?
No.
No VA, no nothing?
Well, VA, you can always qualify.
Yeah. I just wonder if we should have put that in there. Maybe not. But if you go to settings and then sections right here, you can see right there, follow me on Instagram. And so what did I do? How did I get that there? Click add section.
Yeah.
Name. This might be how to
Buy this house with 0 down or something.
Oh, there you go. How to buy a home with 0 down. All right. And let's say you got a video on YouTube or on Vimeo or anywhere, or you've got a landing page, you got an image. You want to link people to your TikTok, you want to link people to your Instagram or your YouTube channel. For video, there is an icon. It's right there, the top row, kind of in the middle. It says add YouTube video. So here I can put a link. I can drop in embed code. I can upload an image. I can upload an image right here. And then if it's a video, well, then obviously the YouTube video will play. If it's an image, I can link it to wherever I want. Again, I can link to a landing page. It can link to your YouTube channel, whatever it is. And it's really awesome. Check this out. Then I can associate it with all new listings. So I can either say, just give it with all new listings. And I can even do, let's say you got a how I help home buyers in Pensacola. And then I got another video, how I help home buyers in Orlando. I could say here, only put this video with listings in certain cities or even zip codes, or even by status. So that's a phenomenal way to really engage people further on your other socials automatically. Yeah. And Tony, yeah. So for example, let's say, In fact, let's just hang out for a few more minutes because I want to see something here. That listing, with the way he had that one photo, it looks like he either had drone photos or a drone video. Let's find out video, because if he has a video, we can add it to the property website. So video tour, let's see what this is. Oh my God, awesome. I love it. So he's got a YouTube video. Let's add it to the listing. This is beautiful. Check this out. I'm going to go watch on YouTube. You'll always see this. So right there, watch on YouTube. That will open up YouTube. That's probably the photographer. Yeah, 13 days ago. I just want to make sure it's not the like a previous listing agent. No, it says unlisted. Let's try it though. I'm just going to copy the URL. I'm going to go. Let's just start at the main listing dashboard. Because you're going to click edit listing. Oh, sorry. So here we are on the main dashboard. Here's the listing. We just found the video. There's an edit right here. See, it says view. That's the property website. Edit. Click edit. And video 3D tour. And I'm going to click. So boom. Leave autoplay and muted on. Browsers will not autoplay if you uncheck that. Right there. It even tells you. Just leave. They don't need to hear the music. All right. They can listen to the music if they want to. There's a little on-off switch for the music, but the browser will not autoplay the video if muted is not checked. That's why we check it by default. So I just save it. And now I'm going to open up the property website. And one more thing I'm going to do. Click sections. Property video. Oh, all right. Let's see. Property website. Ooh, that looks nice. I bet that looks nicer than his single property website. Right? Nice. And then I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna, in fact, in your account, I'm going to uncheck the forced registration. And I'm gonna change display time to 60. So I do that under edit preferences.
Are we doing this? I thought we are gonna edit in the system to make it in the as default.
We actually did for people who've never changed it. So for the people who have never edited that before, now it's going to be not required and 60 seconds.
Oh, it's nice.
That looks pretty nice, huh?
I'm gonna, when I go to open house, have a lot conversation with him.
Yeah, and let's just make sure it's good to go, because I always operate under the assumption that the agent is going to see it. And so I want to make sure we got listing courtesy of Don Hedel with and listing agent down here. So you can see right down there, we got his name. Perfect. So he's on here twice. I mean, he's not going to complain, right? He's represented. He will refer. We actually tag. So here's really cool. Also, this is important. We actually tag the leads with the listing agent's name. So as she's generating leads, she'll know that that lead is from this agent. So as she engages, if it's appropriate to refer back to the agent, she'll be able to very easily. So that's something that you might want to keep track of as well if you're doing the strategy. So anyways, thank you. I'm glad we found that video. I love this pool area too. It's very elegant. It's got the nice arbor. Nice shaded area.
I'll tell you one more thing. Yeah, the hardest thing, I'm actually going to find another listing to market. The hardest thing is really find a really good listing that has great photos in a hot market. That's kind of has been my biggest obstacle.
Yeah, because the other listing that we looked at a little earlier, for those of you maybe that were not on the call, but under listing, she I don't know. I'm not going to make any judgment, but just the listing photos were not that great. The best thing about this listing is the price point is a very, very low price point. I mean, in California, 465 is like, that's medium low.
Targeting first time buyers. and
Yeah,
also
it's an
zero downs,
auburn.
but yeah.
I just wish the agent, because this is a really, I mean, this photo right here is so pretty.
Right. I
I
wish
mean,
the
look,
interior is a lot better.
they
Yeah,
got
for
the,
sure,
they
and
got
that's why I love that property. I thought it has great potential.
yeah, but then they just completely failed. And this is what's so sad about a lot of sellers is, they don't even realize that their agent is not really doing them a great service by, cheaping out on the photos, because to be honest, this property just looks like a wreck. I mean, it doesn't look like an investor property, but with the way these photos are, I mean, look, it's so overexposed. It's like, what is this? Like, what are you taking a picture of here? I just don't get it. Again, kind of a weird photo. Maybe they could have chopped that branch. I don't know that this one branch here is needed. Might open that up a little bit. Yeah. Again, it's a 465 property, but again, you can tell these are complete agent photos with their cell phone. Like that could have been a really pretty picture if it had
I
been done
know.
nice,
Yeah.
right? Maybe take the trampoline out and put like a little chair there, or put the table right
I
there.
wish they clean up the grass a little bit. There's a
Yeah,
few
I
things
mean,
they could have done. Yeah.
even as an agent, it's like grab a damn lawnmower, dude. Mow that. Take 10 minutes, mow that yard.
It
Uh, because it's so pretty. I mean, the trees are beautiful. It's got the little hut back there. The grass and the dirt actually look nice.
okay. Yeah. Okay. We're good on that.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Anything else, get with our support team, get to the mastermind group. We'll talk to you soon.
Somebody wants to win, they can view the replay of this video.
This video is on our YouTube channel. Normally we put it into the mastermind group as well, but if you go to our YouTube channel, so on YouTube, just find listings to leads and click, I believe, the live tab. In fact, let me show you. If you are in your account, go to marketing calendar, resources, and then the very first tile is for YouTube. Click subscribe. It actually is just go to, and right here live, you'll be able to watch all the previous recordings and sign up for the new ones right here. So Yakov, thank you so much, Yakov. Greatly appreciate it. Would love to find out what the coaching company was that you referred to a little bit earlier. If you want to DM me, I'd love to, just kind of curious. Yakub, he spent $6,000 or $7,000 on a coaching program that essentially went down the drain. So, but anyways, hopefully you're getting value from this, and everybody, we'll see you again. Join us for the 5:00 call tonight on how to approach and list expired listings. Going to be a phenomenal call at 5 p.m. Go to leadgenwebinars.com. That's leadgenwebinars.com to sign up for it. And we'll talk to you soon, everybody. Have a good one.